Right, a quick football video. Man United played yesterday against Aston Villa. They won 1-0, but they played absolutely terribly. I watched the video earlier. It was really good, actually. It was Patrice Evra was basically talking about the attitude at the club and the attitude of some of these players, where they don't have passion. They don't have passion for the club they're playing for. And, it's not just the players who come in, the foreign players. Rashford is one that clearly doesn't have passion. He's playing football like he's really not bothered. He's getting his paycheck, that's all he really cares about. I get the impression with Rashford, the stuff he did last year, I think that's still really on the forefront of his mind. I don't think football is something he really cares about anymore. I think that's the impression that Rashford is giving right now. That he'd rather focus on doing that sort of work, the sort of work that got him his title from the Queen. I think that's what he wants to do. And, great. There's a lot of work in that area that needs to be done. So, okay, pack it up. Ask the club to temp your contract. You've got enough money, you can certainly pay your contract off. And go and focus on that. The problem is you're taking money from a club. Basically, you're taking money from fans, and that's what you're doing. That isn't okay. I couldn't care less what you did for the children. I mean, that's a separate issue. Nobody would say that wasn't a good thing. But you playing football is a separate thing completely, Mr. Rashford. Look, of course, it's completely wrong for anyone to have a go at him about his performances, but using his skin colour as a way to have a go at him. That's just ridiculous. His skin colour has absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with his ability to play football or his ability to have passion for the team he's playing for. That's down to him. And all this stuff about players need to be motivated. Excuse me, if you're a player who's paid £200,000 a week to play football, then you can go and employ someone to motivate you. You've got enough money to be able to do that. The club shouldn't have to employ people to motivate you. That's your job. You're getting paid a huge amount of money. The reason why you're getting paid a huge amount of money is because you were playing pretty well either before that contract for this club or for another club, which is why this club came and got you, because they thought you'd be doing the same job. Now, it's not just Rashford. Maguire is terrible. McTominay scored last night from a cross from Fred. But McTominay doesn't do this very often. Fred doesn't do this very often. Not really. We don't see this on a regular basis. And certainly as midfield centres, they are poor. They are really poor. They don't seem to have an understanding of what their job is. When the other team seems to have the ball, they sit way too far back, which means that when we get the ball, we can't attack because we're too deep. They seem to whack the ball forwards for Rashford, who again, I've already talked about him. So there's no point hitting the ball to him. He's absolutely useless right now. Greenwood doesn't seem to know what he's doing. He doesn't seem to know what he's supposed to be doing right now. I was thinking earlier, really what the club should be doing, or any club should have the right to do, if a player is seriously not performing, the club should have the right to just tear up the contract and say, I'm sorry, you've not lived up to the terms of the contract. We paid you. The problem is the club also have terms of the contract that they haven't lived up to. Well, Man United have. They've not really got the best sort of manager. They've not really got the best sort of coaches, nowhere near. They've done a better job with the manager than they have with coaches. Their coaching system has been poor. Their recruitment has been incredibly poor. The people in charge of the club were good with finances, and they thought because they were good with finances, it meant they would be good with football, which they clearly have not been. Finally Woodward's gone, but his successor is basically Woodward Mark II, isn't he, really? He's a financial man, he's not a football man. So what's the point? You basically replace the financial man as director of football with another financial man as director of football. There's no point in that at all. Not in any way, shape or form. I wonder if these pumpkins are still there, or have they... I think they've probably been devoured by the insects and the creatures in here, haven't they? I imagine so. Oh no, there's a bit of one there. There is a bit of one there. There you go. See that one there? There you go, a bit there. And another bit over there. Oh, and there's still some. I mean, they would just rot away into the ground and, feed the trees, wouldn't they, really? Yeah. More trees down, because obviously they weren't rooted too deep. Because you look at them, there's too many trees around here. That's the problem, they can't root very deep. Further down, over on that area there, the trees are a lot deeper rooted, so therefore they generally don't fall down in the wind. But well, like people were having a go at Covie as well, talking about his performance. Well, look, if you're asking Covie to do a job which is to sit deeper like a number 10, that's not his job. He's never played as a number 10. Again, that's down to management, really. You can't have a go at Covie because he's been asked to play in a role that he's never played in before, and he's struggling. Of course he's bloody struggling. I mean, he's what, 34? Is he 34 or a bit older? So he's coming towards the end of his career, and he's now being asked to learn a new position. That's just stupid. That's a position he never wants to learn. Never wanted to learn it before. He didn't come to this club to play in that position. That's just stupid, isn't it, really? Absolutely ridiculous. But that's what they're doing at the moment as a club. They've still got Mike Freeland as in an important position. Darren Fletcher seems to be having an important role on the bench. Well, what has he done? A decent enough player. He was a good squad player, Darren Fletcher, but he wasn't, come on. He wasn't that much, was he? He wasn't a Roy Keane or Paul Scholes or anyone like that. They often played him on the right. Then they played him in the centre because they didn't really know where his best position was. But that's why I say he was a good squad player. He could play. You could stick him at right back and he would do a good job. That was Darren Fletcher. He was a good squad player. But does that mean you give him a position of director of football? Or, it's not director of football, is it? It's technical director? Technical director? Excuse me? Based on what? How many years experience has he had as a technical coach? None, basically. None at all. It's insane. And he's got the ear of the manager. This new manager is coming to sort things out. As has Freeland. Freeland was part of the problem because he was there with Ollie. So come on. Again, the management system. You bring in this new manager, bring in some coaches that he can work with, coaches that he knows, coaches that will actually help the team to play the way he wants them to play. The club is quite tight with regards to money, with regards to coaches and stuff like that. But they happily spend a bloody fortune on contracts for players and spend, probably around about at least 30 million more on Maguire than he's worth. And probably at least 20 million more on Wan-Bissaka than he was worth. But they won't go and get a couple of decent coaches to come in. They won't spend money on that. And it's like, come on. You'll waste money in one area, but you won't then be sensible with money in another area. The amount of money you wasted, you just have to take a hit on that. Really, what United should do in the summer, they should get rid of Maguire, they should get rid of Wan-Bissaka, because Wan-Bissaka's had, 2 full seasons now at least? Maguire's had at least 2 full seasons. That standard of football just isn't good enough. If United have to lose money on them, fine. That's okay. Take a hit. Your decision making was terrible, take the hit. You made these decisions and they were terrible decisions bringing these players in. Especially appointing Maguire as captain. He's still the captain. You got Raphael, is it Varane or Varane? Varane. There you go, Varane. You got him in there. Now he's played for Real Madrid. He's played next to Ramos. He's won Champions League. He's won, the Spanish division. He's won all that stuff. And yet Maguire, who's won nothing, who's done nothing, is the captain. who plays poorly week after week after week after week after week is the captain. Again, it's nonsense. The insanity is just, is what it is, isn't it? I mean, that's part of the problem, isn't it, really? They've got to deal with all that. But again, it's going to take a director of football who's got balls, who's going to stand up to the owners and say, I'm sorry, but you managed it so badly before. These are the consequences now. Is that going to happen? Probably not. Anyway, there you go. You take care. Speak to you later. Bye-bye.